It has been 20 days ever since PlayStation's insane July 1st post, stating that they will no longer be making physical game discs starting in 2028. An entire year and a half to get you ready in order to no longer own anything at all on your consoles, on a closed platform in a closed ecosystem that they directly control. And that is not good for anyone. And the thing is, it's gotten even worse. Sony and PlayStation have said nothing those entire 20 days at the time of this video going live, and it's gotten exponentially crazier as more posts get community noted, as more games get bombarded, and Backlash keeps hitting this entire thing happening. But the problem is, people are missing the forest from the trees, and what is exactly going on with PlayStation and Sony. In my opinion, this entire thing is nothing more than an absolute cash grab for total complete greed, and it's going to be proven even more later on in this video. Trust me, you don't want to miss it, so stick around. The problem is, though, we're already seeing massive signs of what in fact is going on in this space and what PlayStation is in fact planning to do. As we're watching, as game journos, game analysts begin to sweep for this company, begin to go around and give you the actual context as to why PlayStation is making this decision, even though we're already knowing exactly why they're doing it. They don't want to give away that 30% cut to any other storefront, to any other publisher. They want to keep 100% of the profits all to themselves and not waste any money trying to print the disc for you, even though they can take away that license from you at the drop of a hat. They did it with their movies, they'll do it to your games, and they'll do it to your music right next. Being part of the entire space of owning nothing and pretending to be happy. But the thing is, it looks like you guys aren't stopping and fighting, and I goddamn love it. Because according to Culture Crave on Twitter posting, every single PlayStation post since announcing the end of physical game discs has either been community noted or has had one proposed. Every post has also received thousands of replies, flooding them with backlash and memes. That's what I'm talking about. Don't stop the pressure, because the thing is, they will cave, and cave they absolutely will. If PC gamers made PlayStation cave about the PSN sign-in, then you can absolutely make them cave about no longer giving you actual ownership of your video games. And that's really the crux of this entire thing right now. If you haven't understood or noticed what's been going on and why the backlash is in fact so big, the fact that 62% of the actual planet does not have access to the PlayStation network, and the only way they can in fact play their video games is to buy them physically. PlayStation is literally cutting off a massive amount of users, countries, and individuals who are more than willing to spend the money on their games to play them, but they're choosing not to, because Sony and PlayStation feel that 30% cut from the other 38% of the entire world is more than enough to make up for the loss of selling you a video game. And the problem is, they're going to squeeze every country they possibly can, and they're going to put you over a barrel, even if you can access their content. Because according to Push Square saying this, PS5's regional pricing switch has players concerned yet again. Here is what's happening. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. First, it was variable rate pricing. Let's go ahead and provide you a quick, nice and easy, great discount on the storefront that you can go ahead and see. But then when you log in to buy the game, we jack the price up instead. Ah, that's great. Instead, though, what we're going to do is not only add variable rate pricing, but also now add actual pricing for specific regions, meaning they're going to increase the price on every other country and every other currency that they can gain access to, or that can access PSN, and charge them more money for every video game. You thought you were going to skate away scot-free, paying a little bit less because of your currency? I don't think so, Tim. You're going to go ahead and catch these hands quicker than you would actually thought. But let's see what Push Square had to say and what Sony is planning on doing. The first trio of nations affected are Mexico, Honduras, and Nicaragua, and they should be noted because they will lose access to the PS3 and PS Vita stores in August 2026, prior to other countries in July 2027. This change is part of that, and it gets underway on August 18th. All three of these countries have shown prices in USD previously, meaning they were subject to exchange rate fluctuations. After a maintenance period concludes, they'll transition to each country's own currency. But there's concern it could lead to higher digital prices overall, depending on how Sony chooses to price each individual item in each country. Now, I know what you're thinking, and you're saying, Alex, this is a good thing. If they convert the actual currencies out of the USD, there's less work for the user to do, less exchange rates to take care of, and they don't have to worry about trying to buy a game outside of the actual currency overall. Here's the problem, though. If you look at this table over here, where they list Mexico, Honduras, and Nicaragua, I know my Cuban's coming out, it happens sometimes, it'd be like that. You can clearly see that the conversions that are being done are not only against the actual currency of the states, but also against the currency of the US dollar, meaning that it's not about how much money is being spent locally in that country, it's about the actual conversion rate of that currency from those countries against the USD. So if for some reason your currency against the US dollar is weaker that day, you are going to have to spend more money out of your own pocket in order to get the video game. Contrary to popular belief, unlike anything else, where they're not trying to convert it to what $60 actually is inside of that currency itself. Unlike other storefronts like Valve and Steam, have an actual currency calculator that suggests the proper prices depending upon the actual income and economy that's happening in that space right now. What PlayStation is in fact going to do with this is not provide you a better deal overall. What they're trying to do is squeeze out more money out of those other weaker currencies from other countries and match them to what the dollar is supposed to be. That way they can make more money in that space and keep prices higher for those users. This is not going to be a good thing. In fact, it's going to do the exact opposite. And how do I know this will happen? It's simple. I've seen it happen firsthand with Valve and Steam, where publishers were then going around and raising the prices of every other country that had a weaker currency, forcing countries like Brazil and many others to pay out of their own pockets far more than they can actually afford just to match the $60 or $70 price tag in USD. And that's how they're going to be screwing over so many other countries on the planet, not only from restricting PSN access, but also raising the price on you because you're buying the game from a different country or using a different currency. Nice job, boys. Could it get any worse? I submit that it can. Because according to Super CC on Twitter posting, a recent YouTube video by Moore's Law is Dead analyzing social media reactions to Sony's plan to end new PlayStation physical discs in 2028 has identified repetitive messaging and AI-generated profile pics, suggesting Sony is using bots to defend against the backlash to their decision. Sony is now also using AI-generated Twitter bot farms to go ahead and stop people from trying to talk about going all digital. Man, it's almost like they've planned this entire thing from the start, and they feel by not talking about it, the entire thing will blow over. Using AI bots, using indie devs, trying to bring people down, trying to not speak about the entire thing, and even then giving 20 days of not a single response the entire time. Variable rate pricing, regional pricing, and everything else in between that is causing a major issue and having a worse and negative impact on the user happening across the board. And it truly goes to show this entire thing is nothing more than a complete fest of what this company is trying to do to you, all because they want to make a couple extra cents off the back of every dollar that they're trying to ask from you. Not ask, I'm sorry, demanding from you, and they're giving you nothing in return. They want the full 70 to 80 bucks, yet they want to hand you nothing at all with no actual product, no actual ownership, and them tying you to an ecosystem that they can milk you for every red cent they possibly can over and over again. And sadly enough, it looks like other people, including game journals and analysts, are now sweeping for them. Because according to Charlie Intel on Twitter saying, only 7 games released on PlayStation have sold more than 100,000 physical copies this year in the US. Majority of PlayStation sales this year in the US has been digitally. Source, Circana. with the article saying people are not buying physical games. Though the 12,000 wailing comments under the latest Marvel's Wolverine trailer might confuse you into thinking you fell asleep and woke up in a physical media Eden, but I'm consoling my tired, creaky DVD shelf as I say this. We are not in Eden. As Piscatella reveals, only 7 PlayStation games have sold more than 100,000 physical copies in the US this year. Saying, quote, 2 PlayStation video games sold more than 10,000 physical units in the US during the week ending July 1st, 2026, the analyst shares on Blue Sky. 7 have sold more than 100,000 physical units year to date. Global estimates from earlier this month by Alinea Analytics suggest EA Sports FC 26, Resident Evil Requiem, and 007 First Light might be among those 7 games, as each saw at least a 12% of their millions of international sales derive from physical games. In Requiem's case, a hefty 27.8% of its 2.5 million copies sold are estimated to have come from physical discs. Don't you just love how now every analyst and game journal is now sweeping for this company? It's almost like the all-new marching orders are finally being reached out to everybody else across the board. Must protect PlayStation. Must buy all digital. Every decision they make is correct. You cannot criticize them whatsoever. And every fanboy is now attaching and hooking themselves on to this entire statistic. The problem, though, is there's a couple of issues. Number one, Piscatella, the US is not the entire planet. Sorry to tell you that, my boy. I know that's like a great way of wording things like, oh, only 7 games sold over 10,000 copies physically, and only 2 did over 100,000 physically. Ooh, that means you shouldn't have physical discs at all. No, that's not what that means. Again, we are forgetting about 62% of the actual planet besides just the US. And let's also think about it from this perspective, shall we? Trying to buy Resident Evil Requiem physically was a bit of a nightmare. If you recall correctly, many users were stating they could not find the actual game to buy physically. And they also had a massive shortage. To make matters even worse, it also looks like a lot of discs weren't even being made. We saw this with what happened just a couple of days before as well, as the developers of Mortal Shell 2 then admitted to everyone saying that they cannot fulfill the amount of physical disc requests that they are in fact getting, meaning all the physical copies of that game have in fact sold out and they cannot at this time print anymore. I think this was all done via design. I think the entire idea of going around and saying, oh, only this many physical discs weren't sold, that's how we have to do this, is not because I'm being a conspiracy theorist. Well, that's going to be like 2 for 2 if I'm right about this one as well. It's because of the fact that maybe even PlayStation and so many other disc manufacturing plants are not making enough discs to satisfy the actual demand, thereby having Matt Piscatella and even Circana say, well, it turns out only this many were sold physically, so I guess the numbers don't lie, am I right? Well, anyone who's taken stats knows every number lies. Everybody who works with numbers always lies, because there's always some kind of skew going around and some form of data in fact missing from the actual plant. Again, this is not globally. Again, this is only US. And again, it's only the 7 games that released this entire time frame. So with the evidence showing of even other publishers and developers showcasing that they don't have the ability to make more physical copies, that forces consumers into an all-digital platform. That forces the customer to say, why am I going to wait a week, a month, or even a couple of days to get my video game? Why am I going to sit here and wait till the game goes back into stock to buy it physically when I can buy it digitally right now? Thereby forcing the customer's hand into that all-digital future. In my opinion, this isn't a reaction to customer spending habits. In my opinion, this entire thing was created by design. It was built this way. It was structured this way. I believe the plans were put in place long ago before any other company decided to go ahead and pull the trigger first. In fact, PlayStation was just the first one to do it. And if you want to ask me, you can bet your sweet bippy, I can guarantee that Rockstar knew exactly what PlayStation was trying to do, and that's why they went along and did it. That's why there's no disc in the box, and that's why GTA 6 is in fact digitally. Don't worry, I'll get my tinfoil hat for myself, and I'll make you one too. But here comes the real kicker. Here comes the real issue that we're going to be talking about today, and what PlayStation is doing to screw you even harder. Put that tinfoil hat on, it's gonna get wild. Because according to Destructoid, posting this. Sony's own bank, yes, really, is about to introduce a crypto coin to let you buy PlayStation games. This is according to Yahoo Finance, which wrote that Sony Bank, yes, that is its real name, has secured conditional approval from the OCC to establish a national trust bank, which will give it the ability to issue its own dollar-backed stablecoin. The bank aims to start operating with its cryptocurrency in 2027, as it still has a few remaining conditions to meet before everything is approved. Sony Bank explained as far back as last December that it, quote, wants U.S. customers to use the token to pay for digital content across Sony's ecosystem, potentially allowing direct purchases that would avoid the cost of credit card fees. This could be a US-only thing, though, since it has the legal framework created by the Genius Act last year that allows USD-pegged stablecoins to exist in the first place. If other countries around the world start following in the US's footsteps, then we could possibly start seeing an expanded version of this stablecoin trend, allowing users around the world to purchase from PlayStation even if they are regionally blocked from engaging in credit card purchases. People from non-PSN countries who are at the moment banned from buying the PS Store using their own local cards could be given the chance to partake in Sony's planned all-digital future. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Who is running PlayStation and Sony right now? And when the hell did they actually have a bank? Look, I'm gonna be clear and honest about this. This is not about helping other countries who can't access PSN to use their credit card to buy video games. No, this is about Sony creating an actual stable coin to where you have to then buy that coin to go ahead and make purchases on your PSN network to buy the video games. What does that mean? That means because a Sony coin is dollar backed, it's going to have that restriction on it. And that way, what you're doing is you're not spending your actual money. You're giving Sony your money to invest into the actual stable coin and then using that coin to go through and buying games on PSN. So what happens if you get a refund? Will you get your cash back? No! What you get back is the actual value of that coin at that time, depending upon whether or not the dollar is backed on it or not. And then tie that together with the regional pricing of all the other countries that we just saw earlier in this video. This isn't about trying to make consumer practices and consumer behaviors. Not at all. This isn't about going around and giving people what they really want, which is digital ownership. Not even close. This is about a pure, money-driven ecosystem that is self-propelling, self-feeding, and continually asks you to dump more money into it, yet there's nothing being given back to you in return. No ownership, no refunds, everything in a coin-based system and structure. And even then, because people can't use PSN in other countries, they want to have those other countries with regional pricing buy the coin backed by the USD, which is why the regional pricing was part of USD in order to spend that money to buy the video game digitally as well. The fact that Sony has a bank, the fact that they made a stable coin, the fact that they're pushing into AI, the fact that they're removing all of your ownership altogether really goes to show that this company is one of the most anti-consumer, completely insane things you've ever actually seen. Their plan is finally exposed in this video. They want to make a perpetual money machine that you constantly invest into and get nothing out of in return. No ownership, and definitely for sure, not any refunds back to your credit card. Man, how does it get worse? But it does. It does get worse. But it gets worse for Sony. With Khaled on Twitter posting, Sharp Emu PS5 emulator has reached in-game in Demon's Souls, and it shows the start of the tutorial outpost passage. Progress is rocketing. Meanwhile, Ghost of Yotei has started taking off and reached the splash screen. And here's an image of the official emulator interface. And even Botox Games on Twitter said this: I've long accepted a digital future, but I didn't think Sony would end the disc production for PS5 so soon. I love physical games, but I'm not no disc, no buy. That being said, if I'm going to build a digital library, it's absolutely not going to be on PlayStation. LMAO. Showing a picture of his brand new Steam machine and updating SteamOS. So even with all the sweeping, even with all the game journals going around and clapping like seals, even with all the bots that Sony is using, and even making their own stable coin and locking away actual content from 62% of the planet, and then going around and having regional pricing and variable rate pricing and doing everything they can to screw the customer, here we have an emulator progressing faster than we've ever actually seen. And also watching people decide to go ahead and say, you know what, if I'm going to go all digital, I might as well go to the place where I'm at least respected as an actual customer. And I'm going to be real. We're going to stop using the word consumer around here. We're not consumers. We're not just consuming the slop anymore. What we are customers. And it's a goddamn show of respect when you talk about what a customer is going to do. Because if you do bad against a customer, we're going to cuss you the f*** out because of it. Oh, God, I love it. Man, it feels good to say that. Hell yeah, brother. I am honestly sick of PlayStation. I'm sick of the media capping for them. I'm sick of the media putting a cape on for them. And I'm sick of everybody trying to go around and use every sort of shield they can to just simply defend them. This company is doing nothing more than trying to screw you and put you over a barrel every single time. The reality is this. PlayStation is playing with fire, and they're doing everything they possibly can to put you in a situation where you are beholden to them as a consumer, not a customer. And they're more than happy to watch you bend the knee and have your tonsil stones punched out by each one of their executives because you want to play a video game. I'm incredibly happy with what I've been seeing online from every single user telling PlayStation exactly how they feel about no ownership digitally, about no ownership physically, and everything they've been doing. Keep up the pressure, and they will absolutely crack. Whether it's by online replies, community notes, or even switching to another platform. And I tell you this, you don't need a Steam machine, and you don't need a Steam Deck to enjoy what Steam and Valve have to offer, especially what PC gaming has to offer. But as always, I want to hear what you guys got to say about this in the comments section down below. Are you sticking with Sony? Do you think they're doing the right thing? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm not going to support you anymore financially, and I'm going to go to another platform that's going to respect me as a customer. I want to hear what you got to say. And speaking about what you got to say, here's the comment of the day from yesterday's video. With Aaron Jair saying this, they better be on the disc. Aaron, I'm telling you, bro, that's what everybody is feeling right now. And clearly, games should still be on the disc. If every other major hobby, music, movies, and everything else still has physical content, why can't video games? That's a real question everybody's starting to ask themselves. But as always, though, if you guys want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, and live streams, subscribe to the channel. If you want Discord access or emotes to those live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, bro, don't even sweat it. Just come on down to the stream Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel as I wear a banana suit and get insulted with text-to-speech. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Saturday nights, live, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. Do you want even more of me, though? Check out Oh No, It's Alex Gaming. The link to that channel is in the description down below. New videos are out every single Monday. In fact, yesterday's video just went out as well. It's about Palworld and Nintendo. You should definitely check that out. And I stream live on that second channel every single day, Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. to around 2 p.m. Come on down, hang out, and enjoy as the best community on YouTube gets to make fun of me as I'm bad at video games and calls me the next Dark Side Phil. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Link to that channel is in the description down below and streams every day. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!